Today, we're going to be taking a look at two SQL coding interview questions that are asked at Twitter. I'm going to take them step by step and solve them with you guys. All right, I'm going to jump on my computer and let's go over it. All right, so question number one, we're taking a look at histogram of tweets. So this is the same question as number 6 in Ace the Data Science interview. I have not read it, but assume you're given a table of Twitter tweet data, okay? Write a query to obtain the full histogram of tweets posted per user in 2022. So I'm going to take this as a note over here. So it looks like we need to have a filter by 2022. So filter 2022 only. Okay. I'll put the tweet count per user as the bucket. So tweet count per user and number of Twitter users that fall in there. So number of users that tweet that amount. So what I'm thinking so far is, like, let's say 2 users tweet 5 times each. They want to output kind of like 5 tweets and then 2 next to it. So it seems like, in other words, group the users by number of tweets they posted in 2022. So that there. So group users by number of tweets they posted in 2022. Yeah. And count the number of users in each group. So like I said, right over here. So we do not need that. Okay. So this is the tweets table. We'll grab this over here and run it for a second. And example right here. So 111, 1, 2, 3 times. Tweet date 21. So that won't count, but these two 22s do. And these also do for user 254. But you can see tweet bucket only has 1 and 2 tweets for those over there, and the number of users. And they explain this over here. 2 users will post 1 tweet 22. The 1 user posted 2 tweets 22. Query group said, okay. So what we're going to need on this one then is a subquery. We're going to have to probably use a with statement, makes it pretty easy. And let's start coding this out. So let's think about this. So let's actually build out the query that's going to be within this with statement first, and we'll throw it in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just comment this out over here, and then let's write our first one, which is going to do our counts. And then we're going to have our user ID count as tweets. We'll just say tweet num because the table's tweets. From there, we're going to group by the user ID. The other thing we need to do is where, and this is what, tweet date? Yeah, so where tweet date is greater than, and I'm just going to put 12/31/2021. Let's run this code initially, make sure this works correctly. So 254 has 1, 111 has 2, and 148 has 1. Great, so that's working. So let's throw this over here in a with statement. So we're going to have with total tweets. So like that, as, throw this inside over here, that there, tab that over, and we have our first query over here. Now we're going to take a look at other query. So what we need to do now is group by the tweet number and then count it. So we're going to do select, and then go over here, tweet number and counts, put as a star from total tweets. Then we need to label these. So this is tweet bucket over here. So tweet num as tweet bucket, and then count as user number. And I think this should solve the question. Oh, I forgot the group by. So group by, and then tweet num, that's, and then let's run this code. See 1, 2, 2, and 1, which is our example. And then let's submit this code. And it's been accepted. Let's go on to number 2. So over here is rolling averages. So this is number 10 of Ace Data Science interview. I gotta read that book and do a review on it or something like that. But given a table of tweet data over a specified period. Calculate the 3-day rolling average for tweets for each user. So what we're looking for is a 3-day rolling average. Okay. Output the user ID, tweet date, rolling average around the 2 decimal places. So that's telling us our output. We're gonna have to select user ID, tweet date, everything like that. So 3 columns, and then we're gonna have to use a round function on there. Okay. And then a rolling average, and it's moving average means mean time series of data over the time. In this case, you want to determine how the tweet count for each user changes over a 3-day period. Okay. So first thing I'm thinking that we need to do, let's see this over here. So example input, user ID. So we could use a case statement where it's 1 day, then it grabs that, 2 days, divides 3 days, kind of like that I'm thinking right now. And we need to obviously group by the user ID and count those 2. And then we could also take a look at lead and lag functions where we could grab those into different columns and then sum those up. I'm thinking we might want to do that. So let's grab that over here. We're going to do a subquery from there. So select and then grab user ID and also tweet dates, and then also tweet counts, because we're going to grab our first day. And then let's look at another function. So if we're going to order this, we're going to order by the tweet date. We'll limit you over here from, and the table is what, tweets also? Tweets, so it's tweets table. Okay, so let's take a look at a function. If we're going to order this by tweet date, and we're going to have to partition by it. So we're going to do a lead over here, over, and then we're going to do partition by user ID. Put that user ID just in case there's multiple. I know it only shows 1 there. And then we're going to do order by, and then we're going to do tweet dates. And also in this lead over here, because we're going to look at the tweet count each time. So let's think this over real quick. I'll save this as like tweets 2. So just make sure this is right. So lead, we're looking at our tweet counts. So that's going to be this over here. Over, we're partitioning by the specific user IDs and ordering by the tweet date. I think that sounds pretty good. And then we're just going to copy this and make it as a tweets 3.2. Let's grab that. Don't need to comment at the end. I'm going to comment this out over here, and let's just make sure this is working properly. Run code. All right, so just to make sure this works. So 6.1 tweet count is 2, tweets 2 is 1, and 3 is 1. Actually, we have this backwards. Because 6.1 would have nothing else. Both of these should be null. So the fact that they're grabbing 1 over here, and also this needs to be 2 over, so that's a bit off. So actually, we should redo that. I'm going to keep these as null because I think I could filter those out in the case statement on that side of things. But let's just think this through real quick. Partition by, could lag it. Let's try to lag it. I think that would actually solve that. And look at that, it does solve it. All right, so like 111, right? There's only 2 tweets that day. That makes sense. 6.2, 1 and 2, which would be 3. Divide by 2, it'll be 1.5 at the end. 3, 4, and 6. Divide by 3, be 2. So if output, right, 2. Yeah, and then 4, 7, 1, 8, 2.6. And then over here, this one be 4, 9. Oh, sorry, wrong one. 5, 9, and 12. By 3 is 4. Okay, so this side is working over here. So we're going to name this as with, I'm going to say total tweets. I think that's what I said for the other one. As, and then we'll throw this over here, kind of like that. This in that side of things. Copy that over. And then just tab this out just so you can read it a lot better. Okay, so this looks good on that side of things. Now let's think about how we're going to output this data. So select, first off, we need to have user ID. Okay. We need to have tweet date over here. Okay. And then let's think about how we're going to do this. I think we need to have a case statement. I think that's probably going to be the best for this. So let's do a case when, well, if 2 is null, then 3 is null. So I think we look at it from that side of things. So when tweets 2 is null, then we're going to grab tweet counts. So that'll be for the first one. Then we can have a second one, which would be the third one, right? So when tweets 3 is null, then, and we'll do tweet counts plus tweets 2. And then we're going to divide this by 2. Now we're going to have to figure out the rounding in a little bit. But then else, and we'll just do all 3 of these in here. So I'll just copy that like this. Plus, we'll put tweets 3. That. Divide by 3. And then put end as, and then this is what rolling average third. So we'll put that on that side of things. I'm going to grab this from, man, this is a fun query. Total tweets. Okay. So I'm just going to run this code. Let's see how this works properly. So 2, 1, 2. Again, this isn't going to be rounded. And over here, 2, 1, 2. Should be a 2 also, 2 and 4. So it looks like the correct data is coming through. Now we just have to figure out the rounding side of things. So let's build that out on it. Also, we have 2 decimal places on here. So we probably need to multiply this by 1.0. So I'll do that first. 1.00 times, do those over here. This shows up a little bit better. And then we'll divide it out. Not divide it out, sorry. We'll round it out. So look, 2.0, 1.5, 2.00, 1.5, 2, 2667. Great. So we're actually doing the right thing. And then let's put a round over here. So round, put that. We don't need to close that out. And then by 2. Just going to copy that over here. I'm spacing this out just so in case we do anything wrong. Way easier to debug it. I think 2.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.67, and 4.0. Let's submit this code. And it's been accepted. Hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more data interview questions like that one. Now, if you want to learn more about the lead and lag function, which were critical for this second question, I built out a full tutorial on the channel. Make sure to watch it right here.